Welcome back to the channel. What I've got for you today is a tow bar fitting on my 2008 Volkswagen Crafter box van. Unfortunately I didn't realise at the time, but my mic had died whilst trying to record this, so a lot of what I said has disappeared into the ether, but I'll try and do my best to voice over the video. Here I'm just kind of preparing the tow bar. It's from P.F. Jones. Holes were already drilled in the chassis, which was a massive benefit. So you can see now, just trying to kind of hook up the tow bar, which I was able to do by myself. So I sort of cleaned out the holes a bit, as they were pretty dirty, full of mud. Obviously this is a 200 and something odd thousand mile van. And then I just kind of tried to lift one end in place and get a bolt in, and then repeat the process and lift the other end in. Bit awkward on your own, definitely would have been easier with another pair of hands, but I was on my own, so I managed to make it work. Once you get a couple of bolts in either end, it does make it a lot easier. Okay, so I've skipped forward. I've bolted the tow bar on. There's just those 4 bolts. You put them through the holes. It's fairly straightforward. Next thing to look at was the wiring kit. It came with quite a flimsy bracket. There you go, that's the original one. So I put the thicker one on that also came with the kit, so I had to unbolt it and bolt it back on. Fairly straightforward. And then the assembly process is the big spacer plate goes on top, then the tow bar, then the bolts. Pretty straightforward. You've got to do it up really tight, 240 Newton meters. I haven't got a torque wrench that goes up that high, so I'm just going to do it as tight as I can. All the fitting materials are supplied with the kit. It came from P.F. Jones. I don't know if you can read it there. It's a pretty good kit so far. Everything's fit really well. So let's go. Sandwich that all together. I'm going to try it on the bottom. And you've got a what do you call that? A washer, but a special kind of washer. Why can't I think of the name of that spring washer? Now that's interesting. With that plate in between, I would say those bolts are too short, so I'm going to not put that plate on. I'm not using this plate. Going to go straight through the tow bar, straight to that. When you do a nut up, you want at least a thread or two coming out the other end, so that you know that it's in safety. And with that on, there just wasn't, so I'm going to go like that. I'm digging up my big bar, I think. Ideally you would torque them up, but there you go, I'll do them up tight. And that's that bit done. Right, so I've done this up as tight as I can do it with my breaker bar. No idea if it's 240 Newton meters. I'll try and find someone with a torque wrench to check it for me before I tow anything. I've not started wiring it up yet. 7 o'clock at night now, and that's enough for me. I've had a bit of a long day, so I think I'll call it quits there. I need to trim the number plate slightly. I've folded the holder back really badly, so I'll take that off and tidy it up, I think. Perhaps tomorrow when I do the wiring, which will involve one of these little relays, which I'll need to find 12 volt supply for. I think there's 12 volt supply in here, although it's massive, but that should help us nonetheless. Anyway, for me, I'm going to go with the evening, but for you, you'll see me in about 3 seconds. Welcome back. Day 2 of fiddling about with the van. There's so much to do this thing, I don't think I'm ever going to finish it, but today I'm going to carry on with tow bar wiring, and I have got, let's have a look, got some instructions, right? So let's have a look. Read the movie, what do you think? So this is the input, that's the output.
So there's a little cable that I've got to plug in. Let me go off. That's this cable. Plugs in. That cable plugs into there, basically. Then I wire that in to the vehicle. And this goes to the tow bar. Two different sets of wiring depending on whether or not I've got a 7-pin or a 13-pin. Right? Well, I've got a 7-pin, I'm pretty sure. Indeed I does. So, what does that mean? Well, we'll find out, I guess. Right, okay. I did buy a waterproof junction box, but it was awful. I tried to push one of the grommet holes out and it snapped. Typical plastic crap, maybe I did it wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, that's gone in the bin. I'm a bit annoyed, I'm not going to again. Waste of my life. Now this obviously is designed for internal use, but I'm going to put it outside, I'll just wrap it with tape, we'll be right. If it gets soaking wet, I'll just do it again. So, I need reversing light, fog light, brake light. Front and black can be the same. Right hand indicator, left hand indicator. Okay, so we're on the left hand side, so we could do nearly all of that here, I think. But, first of all, I have to gain access to the wiring. So, slips. I will try this plug on this side, but the other side is pretty, solid on this one. This can come off for a start. It's not doing anything. I guess it's probably up there once upon a time. I've got some more if I need it. See if I can break into here somewhere. So my plan is just to find, I mean it's pretty well tied, but to find a loose bit. So I get under it. So all that is. Once it comes, it won't be too bad. Trying not to damage the wire underneath, but it is wrapped pretty tight. It doesn't really help. These cutters aren't as sharp as they used to be, but they're sharper than most of the other ones I got. It's starting to get there. Yeah, I nicked the insulation there slightly, so that'll be a good one to start with, I guess. I can tell you I've gone through it, but that can be the place I start. So what I need to know, first of all, is are any of these unearthed? Because they could be, I don't know, the colour code of a Volkswagen, but brown often is earth. So we can check that. So by setting this to continuity, and then when you touch them together, you get a beep. So let's check to see if these are earth. Nope. Try and find something that's earth first of all. It's all a bit rusty. Good start. Okay, nothing seems to be earth, so that's not going to help me much. Nothing's earth to anything as far as I can tell. Okay, that is earth to it. So that, I think, is a suitable earth point then. What I'll then do is, where I have damage to this insulation, I will just poke the end of this in a bit, if it'll go. Try and stab myself with a finger. Just enough to expose the wire. There we go. Brown as an earth. Actually need an earth. But I do for the power of the thing. So the only earth I need, I think, is this one. But that's that one out of the way. Then what we can do is we can use all the others to figure out what lights are what. Right, so I'll come back in a sec. I'll just start turning lights on. Okay, so the side lights are on. Plan now is basically just to... Gonna have to use each one of these wires, I would have thought. Can't see any reason why I wouldn't, so I'll just kind of guff off a bit of insulation just to expose the wire because then I can probe them. Using the stab it in. I've got a brand new blade on the knife. And in a minute we'll start solving stuff to it. But for now, this will just give us an indication of what's what. Okay, there you go, I can probe each of those. I should be able to then set this to 20 volts. Nope, you can't, and neither can I. Oh, see it. Wedge it in the corner there. Can you see that? Yeah, so what I'm looking for here then is, I know this is an earth, I can use that. I'm looking for 12 volts in each of these, so that one's not got it. That one's not got it. That one's not got it. Oh dear. I think I have to press a bit harder than I was. Oh, one of these must have voltage because the lights are on, right? Agree? Do we agree? I don't know, do we? Come on. Nothing there. There we go. That one's got voltage. We'll check the rest just to be sure. Those still got voltage, right? Two wires here with voltage. The side lights on. I'm going to reverse, aren't I? And that's because there's two side lights, okay? So what we can do now is we can look at the wiring diagram. We say, okay, side lights, brown and black on this wiring loom. Where's this wiring? Brown and black. Now where am I going to put it? Because I want to think about the length a little bit. I'll probably stick it up here out of the way. And come. Let's go. Put it up there. Oh. Something like that. I'll cut off the excess that I don't want. Use my knife. Don't know if you can see that. But I've exposed the wiring basically. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about which way I want to go. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to wrap around this wire. And I'm going to solder it. And then I'll tape it up, right? Well, that's that. So those two done. So, bit of solder. Lost. Bear with me, call it. Have flux if you really want, but if like me you haven't got any, then you can't, can you? So, pop that out of the way so I don't melt that wire. What I do is I tend to get a bit of solder on the soldering iron just to help transfer the heat. Add a bit more to the iron until you can see good contact patch. Wind it around the solder. I'm really showing this. Too much solder on the iron there. Looking to flow the solder so everything needs to have heat. There you go. Once you get the heat into it, the solder will flow. We can move the iron about a bit to direct the heat, but the main thing is to get the heat into the thing. There you go. Now if you end up with a bit of a blob of solder, that's not too bad, but you can just give it a flick and the excess will disappear, right? Well, that is the first one done.
Okay, so all you need to do then is repeat this process for each of the different lights. So you turn the appropriate light on, find which wires getting voltage, and then solder the loom to it. Once you've done that, you need to make sure you tape it up well. You don't want any water ingress. But then you can plug that loom into the box, and then you wire up the loom from the tow bar itself. And that's it, that's the wiring done basically.
Right, okay, that's it fitted. There's the box, the relay unit. There's a bit of excess wire over here, which was stuff that was already fitted to the van that I've made use of. I've just tried to do my best with what I've got. I could possibly have shortened some of it. Maybe I should have. It was a bit tricky to hide it all in that loom, but I've not done too bad. You're not going to see it when I'm driving. There's tow bar on the back of the van. Electric's all done. Job complete. Tow bar's done. Oil leak's done. Coolant leak is done, maybe. Join me again for the next one, where I'm sure I'll be fixing all of the same things over again. I'm exhausted. Had enough. See you in the next one.